Welcome back to part 2 of our holiday special. This video is extra special because it's all about spreading holiday cheer to our amazing YouTube art community. Today, we're coloring 3 festive and fun designs: our cupcake elf with an ice cream cone hat, tangled up reindeer, and an adorable axolotl in a Santa hat. So let's grab your Posca paint markers and let's make some colorful holiday magic together. Thank you for being part of this creative journey. So these are the color palettes for our 3 characters, and I will be holding up the markers, and I'll also be calling out the names as I use them. So I'm going to start with the coral pink and put down a base color. I'm going to add the darker red to the left-hand side, blending that in a little bit, so I'm pulling that to the right, and then I'm adding a little bit of a tint. So the white tinted that. We'll go back and do highlights once that paint is dried. For the whipped cream, we're going to have robin green and white. I'm going to go ahead with the robin green on the left-hand side and in the drips. And then using the white marker, I'm using this to make a lighter color. So I'm tinting that robin green, adding white to it. Now I'm going to go back and add that shadow back in with the robin green. Add a little bit of a cross contour line across with the robin green. Okay, I have ruby red and red. We're going to start working on the Santa hat. I'm going to put down a base color with red. And now I'm going to go and add some darker values with the ruby red. So now we have gray and white. I'm going to go ahead and add the darker value in first. And I'm going to pull with the white marker to the right-hand side. So I'm pulling to the lighter side, meaning where the light source is. Same thing, pulling that gray, making a lighter gray, and then going back in with that gray and adding that shadow back in. So I have light pink, pink, and fuchsia. I'm going to put down a base color with the light pink first. Okay, now I'm going to outline with some pink. I'm going to add a little bit of the darker value on the left-hand side. I'm going back with the light pink to blend that in. And then now this is the fuchsia. This is the darker color, so I'm outlining and I'm also adding little dots around the axolotl's gills and underneath the Santa hat. I'm using green and light green. So I'm starting off with the darker green and then just blending that in and then retouching up the darker value. Same thing with the gray and white, adding the darker value. Then I'm going to pull that with the lighter value. So we're color mixing, and then I would go back and touch up the gray outline. For the reindeer, I have beige, brown, and cacao brown. So I'm going to go in with the lighter color first, which is the beige. Now we have our brown. And the darker brown is the cacao brown. I'm going to use a powder pink and the coral pink. Coral pink is going to be the darker value. Now I'm going to add the green for the Christmas lights. So I have apricot, light blue, and coral pink. I'm going to put down a base color on the light bulbs first, and then I'm going to go back over them with the darker value. And those are bright orange, sky blue, and red. All right, we're going to be moving on to the ice cream cones. So right here I have apricot. I also have light orange and white. And so I'm going to start off with the light orange, and I'm going to tint it with some white. Now the apricot, tinting it with white. I'm going to add some brown, and I'm going to color mix that. I want to make it a little bit darker for the shadows. We're going to let these base colors dry first before we start to add the texture for the cone. So we're going to move ahead and do the chocolate ice cream that's dripping down the face of our elf. So I have beige, brown, and the cacao brown. Starting off with the beige. And then now I'm going to color mix. So I'm color mixing the beige and the light brown. And then now I'm going in with the darker brown to add in the shadows. And now I'm adding highlights with beige. Okay, now that the ice cream cone hopefully should be dry, we're going to go in with ivory, beige, and brown. So we're going to start with the ivory. And we're going to start adding those diagonal pattern across. And then now I'm basically drawing arrow signs pointing up with the dark brown. And then I'm adding little dots of beige just to add a little bit more value. For the strawberry ice cream face of our elf, I have white, powder pink, and coral pink. So I'm going to go ahead and establish a base color with the powder pink. And then I'm going to color mix over the top of this. So I'm going to get out that white, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of tinted colors here on the cheek, on the chin, on the forehead. And now I'm adding that darker value in with the coral pink, and then I'm blending that back in with the powder pink. I'll also do a little dot of red for the tongue. So now I have white, lavender, and purple. I'm going to go in with the darker value first, and I'm going to use the medium value, the violet, to pull that, and then adding a little bit of white. That's tinting it. So now I'm making even lighter values, and I'm going to go back and refresh the darker value with the violet. Okay, for the cupcake wrapper, I have white, robin green, and emerald green. So we're going to do some color mixing. We're going to go in with that darker emerald green first. Now we're pulling it to the right with the robin green. That's the medium value. And then now we're using the white to pull that medium value to the right hand side. And now we're just going to go back over that with the robin green. So you can see we can tint these colors. So the robin green is now lighter because we added white to it. Now I'm just going to go back and touch up the shadow. These white lines at the top, I'm just hitting it with some robin green. And I did that because of the overlapping. So I hit the top of those white lines with just a little bit of robin green. And remember, you want that paint to be completely dry before you add the white highlights. So when the paint is still wet, you can color mix. And when you don't want to color mix, just make sure that base color is dry. Also, too, another tip with Posca paint markers is that if your paper does begin to tear a little bit, then just stop. That paint will dry like plastic, and then you'll be able to color back over the top of it. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this special holiday video, and I hope these colorful creations brought a little extra cheer to your season. You know, art has such a magical way of spreading joy and bringing us together, and I'm so grateful to share this creative journey with all of you. Wishing you a season filled with love, laughter, and plenty of art. So happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.